We've been married for 18 years this year, and we have two daughters, a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old.
I remember us talking quite a lot about when we were going to start having a family, and it was quite a big discussion because I think we were thinking about when is it going to fit around getting the right qualifications that we needed and in our careers and trying to plan the right time, and it was quite hard to decide when to start a family. We wanted to have some time together as a couple as well, but...
And there's also the finance part of it. There's the practical of how does it fit into life and careers and education, but also when can you afford to do that as well?
Although I think the truth is you can probably never completely afford, and it's never a perfect time to have children. They're always going to change your life and turn things upside down. But we did decide that in the end we would start trying after a few years of being together, and it worked out okay in the end.
But we have friends who made very good plans and then they haven't had kids right away, and all their well-made plans then didn't quite go right, did they? But you just have to make sure your plans are flexible, as we've had to and friends have had.
Just to keep talking about it,
really.
Yeah,
really important to do that.
The truth is, you're both coming from completely different backgrounds, aren't you? And you might have completely different perspectives on having kids, and I think it's important to get the big picture stuff sorted about whether you want a family and what you would do if you couldn't have kids. Would you adopt? Would you consider fertility treatment? And do you still want to work when you have a family? Because actually your career plans and how that works with a family are really important as well. So there's a lot of stuff that probably would be better talked about before you make that lifelong commitment together.
But we didn't talk about it all before we got married. Talk about some of it. I think it's just bringing some of those topics up to make sure that we're at least thinking roughly the same.
Or that we can understand each other's perspective and come to something which is going to be okay for us to work on together. One of the things about having a family is that it just changes all the time. The kids are changing, their circumstances change, they might have challenges that can be really difficult to cope with, and actually you as a family can have different challenges thrown at you that you weren't expecting at all, and life can be complex.
And it feels like you're just making it up as you go along, but actually I think it's that communicating and what your values are as a couple are the things that really hold it together. So whatever changes within the family, because some complex things do happen.
Oh yeah, I mean families are pretty messy places sometimes, and when you're blending families, if you're getting married and you've already got kids, or you're a step parent, and even just first time marriages, having to cope with different phases and changes in your kids and your relationships is a really interesting adventure actually. I can't really imagine us not having kids now. I can't remember what we did before we had kids. It was lovely spending time just the two of us, but actually having the girls and seeing them grow up and developing into their own personalities and sharing our home with them is just fantastic fun.
And they bring so much colour and unexpected things and adventure into the family. I mean, there's frustrations, but I think the joys definitely outweigh that. And it's great to have kids.
Yeah, it's just good building a family together and watching it grow.
Yeah.